Welcome back, football fans. This is Play Action Takes, presented by Apollo Media. Apollo Media's NFL podcast, brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Go check out their daily specials each and every day. Great beer, great wings, great people. We love Big City Wings. We also love Celebrity Mint.
I love Big City Wings.
Love Celebrity Mint. CelebrityMint.com. Go see their graded legal tender collectibles of Mike Tyson, Ric Flair, and more at CelebrityMint.com. And shout out to Prize Picks. Prize Picks is our daily fantasy sponsor. Use code APOLLO when you sign up with Prize Picks to earn up to $100 matched on your first deposit. You can place a little something on more or less on points, rebounds, assists in the NBA, shots on goal, goals, assists in the NHL. And then when football comes back, obviously you got passing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, all of the works with Prize Picks. Use code APOLLO when you sign up for up to $100 match on your first deposit. We're back with some football talk. We did this show yesterday. Unfortunately, the footage was corrupt. So it happens. Things happen. We're back with the content machine. We're back with football. The legal tampering period is over for free agency, so the league has started their season. Free agency is full-blown, so people are signing. Comp picks are out. Garrett, how are you feeling as a Houston Texans fan?
Firstly, Stoney, happy new league year.
Yes.
We made it. We made it to another season or another league year of football. As a Texans fan, I feel great. I feel on top of the world. I feel like I can just climb any mountain. Nothing can stop me. We should be considered a Super Bowl favorite after this week, I gotta say. And obviously, it's recency bias because one of them.
Okay.
I think.
Right.
I don't know. That's obviously that's subject to change. Getting closer to the season, but after the great week of signings and also trade that we had, I feel great. I feel fantastic.
Well, good for you. The Texans, they signed Danielle Hunter, 2 years, $49 million, 48 of it's guaranteed. So you got your star edge rusher. Every NFL team needs their star quarterback, star edge rusher, and a star wide receiver. You've got two of the three, potentially three of the three in the offseason, TBD. Maybe Justin Jefferson, we could just start spreading that rumor around. That would be fun.
Maybe
That
T. Higgins. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some rumblings about
he's
all
definitely
kinds
available.
of shit. Yeah.
So
he's definitely available.
The Texans definitely they kicked it off well. I think Texans fans were worried for the first day or two until the Danielle Hunter signing happened because you had cap space and you had holes to fill. But you re-signed Dalton Schultz. You brought him back, so your offense is kind of just cohesive now. You trade for Joe Mixon, like a 7th round pick. We don't like him as a person, but good football player. So yeah, good for the Houston Texans.
Player,
And you want
that?
No,
and they definitely needed this. They definitely needed some kind of big spending. I mean, our money was just burning a hole in our pocket, you know. And the whole thing is, if you have a rookie, if you have a star quarterback on a rookie contract, just spend so much. And people were losing their shit in like the first hour and a half of free agency because Christian Wilkins signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. Saquon signed with the Philadelphia Eagles. And those are like two of the top guys that people wanted. And as soon as those guys were off the boards, people started to lose their shit. And I didn't lose my shit, but throughout the day, I was like, all right, the biggest guy we got is Danico Autry. All right, come on. You can spend a little bit more money than that. And then they started to spend the money, and I went, all right, there we go. We go. So free agency is just like a 3-course meal. If you're not satisfied with the first course, it's like, it's okay. There's two more meals coming, or there's 2 more courses coming that you might just be so satisfied with.
Yeah. I think y'all did what you needed to do. There's still like Tariq Armstead still out there for D-line. Obviously, T. Higgins is available for trade with the transition tag, franchise tag, whichever one it was, but they're going to trade him. So
Justin Simmons is out there. Justin Simmons is still out there.
Yeah. There's plenty of free agents still to be had.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which is pretty crazy because I feel like pretty much all of them, I feel like 1 million free agents have been signed this week. I feel like 1 million zillion have been signed. Like, this has been, Stoney, would you agree that this is one of the crazier free agencies you've seen in a while?
Yes. as a
Yeah,
Dolphins fan,
absolutely.
like obviously we had to work around the corners there, but for the last few off seasons, there's just been massive trades that have happened for the Dolphins, where a superstar comes to Miami and signs a big deal. Jalen Ramsey, obviously we got Tyreek Hill. And we just have been swinging for the fences through trades instead of free agency, and I'm fine with that because free agency typically doesn't bode well for the Dolphins. It's a superstar and nothing else around it. I'm fine trading
Yeah,
for a superstar when you've already have pieces around it. So I'm waiting on that. I'm still waiting on that hat to drop. There's been some rumblings on Dolphins Twitter
it's
about
understandable.
Patrick Surtain II and Aaron Donald as two big trade targets where they went for him
Oh,
in the
come
trade
on. Oh,
deadline.
come on.
I'm just saying, I don't know
Oh,
how it's going to
stop.
happen. The salary cap's not real, obviously, because we had negative $30 million in cap space and then signed like 10 players. I don't know.
Cap space is every free agency, cap space to me becomes more of a mystery because
Yeah.
I look at like the Kansas City Chiefs and I was like, wow, I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to retain Chris Jones. I know Chris Jones would like to return, but Chris Jones, he was holding out last year. He wants his money, he wants to get
Mm-hmm.
paid. We'll see. And then they just give him $158 million. And it's like, oh, wow. Okay. So you just, no, I mean, it doesn't matter. Nothing
Yeah.
matters.
Nothing.
Cap space isn't real. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore
It's
because
very
there's
strange.
just, it's really weird. It's really weird. I don't know if it's real anymore. I'm just so confused. And I know next year they're going to sign someone else on their already stacked roster, and I don't know. It's going to confuse me even more. So every year, I just get
Yep.
more and more confused about cap space. I don't
I'm
know.
fine with it. NFL's the only sport and like big four sport in America where the salary cap is just like not real. Like in baseball,
Mm,
hockey, basketball, it's all just set in stone. Like you can't just convert things into a signing bonus and open up $30 million in cap with a random signing bonus
yeah,
to a player that's already under contract. It's
yeah.
very strange. I don't get it. I'm fine with it though if the Dolphins can keep adding people. You mentioned Saquon Barkley
Oh yeah.
earlier. The running back market, stonks are up.
Ooh,
Stonks are up. Josh
yeah.
Jacobs goes
No,
to
I
the
mean, kind of
Packers.
a
Saquon goes to the Eagles. Derrick Henry goes to the Ravens, and they all got like really good money for the most part. I mean, Derrick Henry's is a little bit lower, but still he can earn up to $20 million for his deal for 2 years. Like 10 plus million for three different dudes on the market is impressive. I didn't see it coming.
yeah. Yeah, I think running backs are back up. I think they're back up, man. Because it seemed like last offseason they couldn't get anything. Couldn't
No.
get anything going. There was no market for running backs. The whole Jonathan Taylor thing was like it was a whole saga of hey, trade me, and like, if you're not going to pay me, and they're like we're not going to pay you, but we want a first rounder out of you, and it's like what? And it was just this whole
I
thing of like hey, running backs they don't last too long. Look at Todd Gurley. The fall off is crazy, but complete 180 this year because now Josh Jacobs is getting paid. Aaron Jones, I mean, it's only a 1 year, but he got 9 million. If it would have been a multi-year, he would have been paid just like the rest of the guys. Saquon, huge contract for him. Just running backs are just getting paid now, and it's just wild how from last off season it's just completely different. It's like a complete 180.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming
Seems
because the
like
last running back that really got a big free agency deal was Ezekiel Elliott when he signed an extension with the Cowboys. Obviously, McCaffrey's making a shitload of money, but Carolina didn't have anyone else to pay, and then they trade him for like 5 draft picks that none of them a first round pick. We'll get to Carolina in a minute. So yeah, running back market's up. You know what else is up? Your boy,
what's up?
Kirk Cousins in
Yeah, man,
Atlanta.
big Kirk go.
In Atlanta, 4 years, $180 million, over $330 million guaranteed in his career earnings, upwards of 400 plus by the end of his contract here with Atlanta, with one playoff win in his career. It pays to be average, it turns out. It just pays to be average.
I mean,
Kirk Cousins, 4
I
years,
mean,
180 million to the Falcons is it's very funny, but also like probably a good signing for them since they already have weapons.
yeah, no, I like the signing for Atlanta. They can compete now to be in the playoffs. They can maybe even maybe not make a run, but they can win a playoff game or two. I don't know, but Kirk Cousins is a Hall of Fame bag chaser. We know that. He gets bags. Like he used to get fully guaranteed contracts with Minnesota. So this is no new territory for him. But it is a new offense, and I love the fit. I mean,
Mhm.
because uh, I think Atlanta put together a great staff in the offseason, and they do have weapons. So I mean, Falcons fans are pissed about the signing. I think it's a good signing for them. I don't know why they'd be pissed. You know, what are you going to get? Were you going to get JJ McCarthy in the draft? Like, what are you thinking?
Ooh.
Like,
I mean,
get Kirko. I mean, yeah. I mean,
yuck.
listen, listen. JJ McCarthy's basically a poor man's Kirk Cousins. So just get the better version of that and just let it ride. You know, he was playing some of the best football of his career before his Achilles ripped in half. So
Mhm.
you might get that Kirk Cousins with with weapons. You know, maybe a one of the best running backs in the league. You know, one of the best tight ends in theory,
Yeah.
and Drake, and then Drake London, and they also got Darnell Mooney. So I
And
like the fit a lot.
their defense is good. So I mean, if Kirk can come in and just be
Hmm.
the average, like if he's the 15th best quarterback in the league, like you're gonna probably win the NFC
Yeah.
South by a few games. Quite honestly,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
weapons
Absolutely.
all over
Yeah.
the place. Yeah, Kirko Two Chains going to Atlanta. He's already been putting on the Dirty Birds chains. Him and the boys,
Yeah.
his
The whole.
sons at the signing the other day. I
I
think
mean, I think the best thing to happen in Kirk Cousins' career, honestly, is realizing how funny it is to put like grills and chains on him. You know,
yeah,
and now it's just now he's just that's when he became beloved. You know, putting on funny
it's true.
chains that don't fit him, and he's wearing grills. And now he's in Atlanta, where he's probably going to be best friends with Quavo. So
Yeah,
it's a great fit all around. Great for the league. Great for Kirk and his family. So
yeah,
I love it.
yeah. Kirk in the Dirty South. It just I love it. I love it for him. Good for
Yeah,
him. Running back
yeah.
market's up. Kirk Cousins gets his bag. On the defensive side of the ball, we had three defensive linemen, just enormous signings. Christian Wilkins leaves Miami, heads to Las Vegas for 4 years, $110 million. I know Texans fans wanted him. A lot of fans probably wanted him. He's a. I told y'all before free agency started, if Christian Wilkins becomes a Texan, he'll be your favorite player outside of CJ Stroud by week one.
Yeah.
He's a lovable
Yeah.
guy. He's a fun dude. The Raiders just posted a video of him at his signing, and he's in Vegas gear, and the guy behind the camera goes, Christian, you have anything to say to Raider Nation? And he just screams Raiders in the camera. That's all. That was it. I was like, this is the most perfect fit from winning a national title in Clemson, getting drafted by Miami, living there for
Yeah.
5 years. And now he gets to go live in Vegas for 4 years, plus maybe if he signs an extension
We
with them. And he gets to play alongside Max Crosby.
we
I mean,
yeah,
buddy.
no, I was about to say, like, slotting him right next to Max Crosby, that's dangerous right there. You know, Vegas is I don't like Vegas for this coming season,
No.
but Max Crosby next to Christian Wilkins, that's cinema. That's TV right there. That's TV gold. So I love the fit. And like you said, going from Natty to Miami to Las Vegas, who needs a Super Bowl? You know, who
Dude.
needs a Super Bowl? Like you're hanging out, living life, man. Christian Wilkins is the life of the party. He's living life now.
Yeah, and he's probably made $30 or $40 million with the Miami Dolphins with his rookie contract and the fifth year option, and now he gets $110 million to go live in Vegas in two tax free states on state
Yeah,
taxes in Nevada and Florida. I mean, he's just if you're not gonna win, go get the bag and go live somewhere cool.
yeah, no,
Good for you, buddy. Like you've already got a national title in college. Like you're
yeah.
already a legend on them. You did the splits on the stage when you got the trophy. Like he's just and he freaking chest bumps Roger Goodell on draft night when he gets drafted. He's just
Oh,
like the
yeah,
jump into his chest. Yeah, I mean, just an all time fun guy. Good for Christian Wilkins. Happy they got your bag. I'm glad the Dolphins didn't pay that because they couldn't. I saw a stat. Chris Greer,
yeah, no,
of the players that he's drafted and the players that just left in free agency, the players have signed $260 million worth of contracts so far that he's drafted in this free agency. That's
wow,
like bigger than the salary
yeah,
cap pretty much for 5 players.
that's crazy.
So
That's
if there's
crazy.
any doubt in Chris Greer on his drafting, I think he's all right. I think he did okay. I think he did just fine.
He's doing okay. He's doing a swell job. He's
Yeah.
doing a swell job picking star players. So
And then you mentioned Chris Jones
good for
earlier,
Chris.
5 years, $158.75 million to go back to the Chiefs. You got 3 Super Bowls. You're the best defensive player in Chiefs history, arguably. I mean,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
now you've got
yeah.
an
I mean,
extra bag.
what's
You've got 2 giant bags plus your rookie deal. Yeah, good for you.
yeah. No, I mean that's yeah, and honestly, like I mean, I thought maybe the Chiefs were they're close to losing him, and then he gets on the stage at the Super Bowl parade and says, "I'm not going anywhere," and then I'm like, "Well, okay,
Yeah.
we'll see." They're paying Patrick Mahomes like $500 million, and then Patrick Mahomes just out of nowhere restructures his contract, and I go, "Oh, okay." They're he's doing the Tom Brady thing where he's fine with making millions a year, and he'll say, "Oh, I'll lose a little bit of those millions so I can just win more Super Bowls." I mean, there you go. So they got Chris Jones back on. 158 million is crazy, but that's worth it because he transforms your defense, and they had one of the best defenses, and they've had it in years, and it helped them win. So
I would like to
good for both sides.
circle back real quick to Atlanta. Breaking news here.
Oh,
Adam Schefter.
oh,
Atlanta has signed Kirk Cousins, obviously, and they'd been shopping Desmond
wow.
Ritter. Desmond Ritter is now being told that he's being traded to the Arizona Cardinals for Rondale Moore.
Interesting. So
another weapon.
I mean, well, it's not like so Desmond Ritter just ended up in the same position he's in, just on a worse team.
Yeah,
Good for him.
he's Josh Rosen
Just
again. He's just Josh Rosen is basically
Yeah,
what it is.
that's yeah.
It's
I mean,
brutal.
he probably said, "Hey, I want to be traded." He's probably said, "Hey, I want to be traded," and he said, "All right," and then he's like, I want to have a chance to start somewhere," and then they just were like, "All right, hey, well, who's calling about him? Arizona? Okay, just fuck it, give it, give him
Okay,
Arizona,"
sure.
and he's like, "Oh, dude."
Yeah, because they
Yeah,
have
so something happens to Kyler, I guess.
Atlanta has Taylor Heineke under contract. They signed him last offseason for 2 years, I believe, like $14 million total. So they have their backup quarterback. They didn't need Desmond Ritter anymore. Sure, that's fine. Circling back to the defense, we'll go back. Brian Burns, edge rusher for Carolina, was reportedly offered like 2 first-round picks for last season, before the season, and at the trade deadline, I believe. He gets traded to the New York Giants for a 2nd-round pick and a 5th-round pick, and then signs an extension, 5 years, $150 million. Congrats to Giants fans. You have 2 great edge rushers, but no quarterback, and now no running back because Saquon's gone. Also, no wide receivers, tight end, or like the rest of your defense. So at least you got 2 edge rushers.
Put some respect on Devin Singletary. Put some respect on Devin Singletary, will you?
Well, I mean, he was on a
He's
good
just
team
fine.
last year. We got to think about that. He was on a good team last year.
That's true. That is also
He's no longer on a good team when Daniel Jones is their quarterback. So
he's not. He is on an abysmal offense. So yeah, no. I mean, Brian Burns getting that bag is, man. Pass rushers are up right now.
Yeah.
And I think this has been a realization for a while. But one team that's making everyone realize that pass rushers on the defense is just the most important thing of the San Francisco 49ers. And that's what D'Amico on the Texans is doing. He's like, hey, what if no one can just block my pass rushers? I think I'll just win every game, or I'll win the biggest games. So
sure. Why not?
yeah, no. So, Thibodeau and Brian Burns now together on the same line. That's fun. That's going to be fun for sure. But like you said, no quarterback. We'll see what happens with that. $150 million is wild. Very wild. Didn't even get a first. Carolina didn't get a first for him though. So
no.
That's pretty crazy.
Or Christian McCaffrey. So
God. Oh, Carolina. You're so funny.
Oh, brother.
Such a funny team. Yeah.
All right, dude. She's about to walk in.
Pass rushers are up. Okay. That was a good stopping point.
Yeah. Then we can touch on Mac Jones, Russell Wilson, and all that next.
Okay.
Rosie's going crazy. What's up, babe? You going in there? Okay. I love you. All right. You good?
Yep.
Let me type that in. In free agency, obviously, is a big deal. There's been trades as well with some funky names. Mac Jones. I'm not sure what we were doing here, but the Patriots trade Mac Jones to the Jacksonville Jaguars for what I believe is like a 6th round pick, maybe, or 7th round pick. I can't remember. Nothing,
Yeah,
essentially.
it
He
was
goes
a
to
six
Jacksonville to
too.
be the backup.
Yeah. I don't
I don't know.
who cares? You know, like if something happens to Trevor Lawrence, obviously it's gonna be very funny. If Trevor Lawrence, gets injured or something, it's gonna be very funny when Mac Jones is playing for the Jaguars because they'll be so bad. He will be so bad with them. His career is dead. He's not
Yep.
gonna get a Baker Mayfield type redemption arc. He is gone. He is gone. So hey, Mac Jones, welcome to, let's change the career path a little bit. Let's change it up. Let's start being a career backup. You know, guys like Ryan Fitzpatrick have embraced it. Josh McCown, they've embraced it, and they've become legends in that kind of industry. So
Chad Henne,
let's start that
2-time
career
Super Bowl
backup.
champ. Chad Henne,
Chad Henne, uh, Blaine Gabbert's still in the league as a backup.
somehow.
So Mac Jones. Yeah, I mean, hey, well, he's on the Chiefs, and they just like where our quarterback is never going to get injured because he's a superhuman, alien freak. So Blaine Gabbert can just collect a paycheck on, and be a name in our quarterback room. Mac
And
Jones, welcome to that career path. So start embracing it and then getting used to it, man. You're not a starter in this league anymore.
no, Noah mentioned it to me yesterday that there was some rumors that Doug Peterson had some problems with how Trevor Lawrence like carries himself, and he's not all the way in. Like he doesn't play through injuries, yada yada yada, that kind of stuff. That's your fix, Mac Jones, the guy that was all in with the New England Patriots, that hated his coaches, the teammates didn't seem to like him, and
Yeah,
couldn't complete a pass unless it was an interception. So, welcome to the backup role, Mac Jones.
yeah, and I hope that one of the games that we play in the Texans, I mean, play the Jaguars. I hope Mac Jones has to play, and he throws 3 interceptions, and we sack him 15 times.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
that'd be
very
fun.
funny. I don't like
It,
Mac Jones.
it was very
Yeah, no,
fun for the
but
last 3 years having him in my division. Every time you played him, you're like, all right, we're getting at least one pick today and probably a fumble as well. So you got that going for you.
yeah, yeah, no, it's fun playing Mac Jones. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Hey,
delight.
at least you live in Florida now. At least you live in Florida
Yeah,
now.
and
So
he's from
there's
Jacksonville.
that. You
He went
know.
to the same high school as Tim Tebow, so
Well,
he's
there you
from
go.
Jacksonville. Gets to go back home and be a backup quarterback. Pretty good job.
Good for you. Good for you, Mac.
Yeah,
Good for
not
you,
bad.
McCorkle.
Um, Another quarterback on the move. Russell Wilson was cut by the Denver Broncos. They have like, I think it's a $63 million cap hit this year, and then like 45 next year for it. Not great. You gave him a 270
Goodness.
something
Yeah.
million deal. A lot of it was guaranteed. I didn't get that when it happened. I didn't really understand the trade for him, even with Sean Payton coming in. Whatever. He's going to Pittsburgh, Steel City. Let's weld. He signed a 1 year, $1.2
Yeah.
million
Let's
dollar
steal.
deal. Yeah. Russell Wilson goes to
Yeah.
Pittsburgh where
Yeah.
they're
I mean,
never under 500. So probably going to happen.
a lot of people, a lot of people are clowning this move, and I don't really get clowning it. It's Russell Wilson. I think is a better option than Kenny Pickett.
Yes.
Mason Rudolph, Mitch Trubisky. He's a better option than all of them. He's only on a $1.2 million deal. You can make some noise with great value at quarterback this year. And at one point last year, Russell Wilson seemed like he was playing well, seemed like he was playing fine,
Yeah.
and obviously the Broncos, they hated him, they hated his guts, and they hated his face, and they wanted him to die in a car accident. And that kind of led to the downfall of the season. Russell Wilson with Mike Tomlin and maybe a friendly George Pickens. I don't know. We'll see. I think it could go well for them. I think they could make the playoffs, obviously, and with that defense, who knows? Who knows what could happen? I like the move for them.
Yeah, I mean they haven't been under 500 with Mike Tomlin as coach. They've been 8-8 or above every single season, and now 9-8 and above in that era. So I would assume they're going to be 9-8 minimum. They could probably win up to 10 to 12 games potentially, depending on how they do in their own division.
Maybe.
Since their division is a
Yeah.
fucking bloodbath. But yeah, I like it, and it's $1.2 million against the Steelers cap this year. So it's like absolutely nothing for an actual
It's not bad.
starter on your
Yeah.
team as opposed to Kenny Pickett,
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, etc. So yeah, good for the Steelers.
Yeah. And also like the Russell Wilson Steelers jersey, that's going to be a funny jersey to have your hands on in a few years. You know, if you ever get that jersey, find it in like a Goodwill, like 10 years,
Yeah,
that's going to be very funny. That's going to be really cool. I like that. So
yeah. If you're
I,
the
I like the
ironic
move
jersey
all around.
wearer, that's going to be an all timer here in
Yeah,
like a year or two at frat parties for darties.
for sure.
Yep.
For sure. It's going to be awesome.
Last kind of notable trade that we had in the tampering period, Jerry Jeudy heading from Denver to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns acquired him for a 5th round pick, and they acquired Amari Cooper for a 5th and 6th round pick a couple years ago. So when you get your 2 starting wide receivers for a 5th round pick, pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know what you're going to do with quarterback
Pretty
because you got
solid.
Nasty
Yeah.
Man who doesn't like to play hurt and is also not good when he's healthy. So not sure what you do there with your $230 million guaranteed with him and your draft picks gone. But yeah, you got Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. I mean, you have weapons. Nick Chubb's going to come back. You've got weapons on the offensive side, and David Njoku, like they have stuff. They're good. They got a good O line.
Yeah.
Problem is the quarterback. And Jerry Jeudy, he didn't really prove it in Denver, but he's had some good games, and he's obviously a starting caliber wide receiver. And you pair him up with Amari Cooper on the other side, who had like, I don't know, 900 yards against the Texans last year in a game. So you could do things. You could do things.
I got to think that this move, Jerry Jeudy to the Browns, will not matter, will not be a factor whatsoever. This is, I mean, the Browns are the Browns, and they traded for OBJ once and made him look bad. And
That's fair.
you know, I don't think, and you know, I think this past year, the Browns in the playoffs against the Texans, that's who they really were. That's who they were. They gave up over 40 points to us. You know, obviously 2 of them were pick sixes, but they got blown out. They got blown out. And Nasty Man number 4 is not good.
No.
We've known that he's not good. Missed like 2 years of football essentially. He's after that, like the rust is settled in. You're just a rusty person forever. And I don't think it's going to matter for the Browns, especially in this division. I think the Steelers will be a lot better. I think the Bengals will obviously be a lot better, and the Ravens will be a lot better. I think they're going. This is the last place team in this division. Um, I just wish Jerry Jeudy could have gotten a chance. Could have got a chance somewhere else. You know, not the Browns,
Yeah.
because obviously Denver is not a good place either.
Yeah.
Denver
And
sucks.
the
So.
Browns could potentially just go 8-9 and still be last in the division, like just under 500, and you're probably
Mhm.
last in your division. You can go 9-8,
Yep.
potentially still be last in your division. Yeah, it's a brutal division to be in, but they almost won it last year. Like they were very close, and then the Ravens just kept winning against incredible teams like the Niners, and then they killed the Dolphins. Like
Yeah.
they just killed every team at the end of the season, and had a lucky win against the Rams on
Also,
a
the
punt
Joe
return in overtime.
Flacco the the Joe Flacco Linsanity
It's over.
era will be studied in history books. It's over. It will be studied though, and for some reason he was just the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. That's not sustainable. Obviously, it didn't happen in the playoffs. Going forward, quarterback play like that, especially with Nasty Man starting, it's not sustainable. But they did get Jameis Winston though, so we'll
They
see.
did. So maybe they're fine.
Maybe maybe
5,000
maybe
yards,
he
30
comes in.
touchdowns, 30
Yeah,
interceptions coming back.
30-30 season for the Browns. I'm so in. I'm so in for that. So let's hopefully like maybe Deshaun hopefully gets injured again, and
Yeah,
then Jameis starts for the Browns, and then we have a funny Jameis
that would be
Winston
fun.
Browns era. That would be
We
awesome.
could we
That
could
would be
root for that
hilarious. I
those
love that.
Browns.
Yeah,
We could root for those Browns. Did we
absolutely,
ever talk about Joe
absolutely.
Flacco winning comeback player of the year over Damar Hamlin and Tua Tagovailoa? He
And
played like
also Baker
5
Mayfield.
games. And Baker Mayfield, like he played 5
Yeah,
games. Tua led the league in passing yards. Damar Hamlin died on a field and came back and played multiple games, like almost just as many as Joe Flacco, I think. Not that he was doing anything, he was on special teams, but like literally died on the field and came back. If he's not comeback player of the year, I don't
yeah,
know who isn't. But Tua basically was
yeah.
told
There
to
were
retire and led the league in passing. I mean, what are we doing giving it to Joe Flacco? I understand he's 39 and he came back and he had a good month of football, but what are we doing?
who cares? I mean, I because haters will say, "Well, Damar Hamlin's not even good." Like, who cares? He came back from the dead. he
Literally
that
from the
is the
dead.
ultimate. Also, who gives a fuck really about the comeback player of the year? Why does it have to be like no? It has to be an actual fair because it wasn't even a fair it wasn't even a fair give out. I mean,
No.
Joe Flacco played 5 games, got shit on in the playoffs. Tua deserved it more. Baker deserved it more. But yeah, at the end of the day, who even fucking cares? Just give it to DeMar. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but people are fucking like crying. We're crying about that, like about DeMar like being like the favorite for all year long. Or they're like, what? He's not even playing. I'm like, he's still on the field, like dressed out after
Yep.
being a dead person. So, you know, but Joe Flacco winning it, no sense. Now he is
Crazy.
a backup on the Colts. Will not be playing. Well, he might be. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
He might be.
I mean,
AR
hopefully that
AR's got to prove his health.
hopefully Anthony Richardson stays healthy this year because he's a blast to watch. I know he's in your
Hopefully.
division and it sucks that you got
Yeah,
to play him twice a
absolutely.
year, but like he's very fun to watch if he's not playing the Texans or the Dolphins, like or your specific favorite team. So hopefully he stays healthy and we don't see Joe Flacco ever again. So we can just tell him to go away forever and call it a day.
Just I'm tired of I'm ready to move off of old quarterbacks being relevant. I'm ready to do that.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers is the last domino. He is the last remaining stick in the mud. Like just I want to push it over. He's the last remaining sandcastle. I just want to fucking push it over. I'm tired of it.
if Aaron Rodgers
He's
is
staying relevant, and I'm like, come on.
I would love for Aaron Rodgers
That's
to
not
stay
even news. Like,
relevant as RFK's running mate. That would be fun. I would have a blast of him retiring from football just to be a running mate for a third party presidential candidate that's not going to
oh
win
God, dude.
the election. I
God.
would love
Oh
that. That
God,
would just make
Jets
my
fan.
life for Jets fans because they just talk so much shit and they're at the bottom of the division for the last 5 years and they're just like, we got Aaron
Oh
Rodgers
man,
and he played 4 snaps and then he retires to be a vice president for someone that's not
yeah,
going to win the
yeah.
election.
Oh, would be such a Jet. Would be so Jets. Would be so Jets.
The most Jets thing of all time.
But it would be fun. Yeah,
But free agency has been a blast. Obviously, we're into pro day season for heading into the draft. We're a little over a month away from the draft. We'll be back before then to do probably a mock draft and wishful thinking for our
yeah.
teams in the later part of the round and first round picks. So we'll be back in April. We'll talk some more ball. We'll talk some more drafts, and then after the draft, I mean, we get schedule release in May, and then we're right into OTAs, summer camp, training
Oh
camp.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we're
Oh yeah.
cruising towards football season, and it's only been a month, so I'm excited.
Cooking. Please, we're September. Let's just go, man. After free agency, well, let's get to the draft because
Yeah,
our draft's been looking pretty solid. So let's get to the draft and then let's just cruise right on to September. I'm ready.
yeah.
Injected into my veins. Free agency is so back. Football's back. It's always football season, baby.
Yeah, let's sim to the draft and then sim to the regular season and call it a day. This has been Play Action Takes, Apollo Media's NFL podcast brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Great people, great wings, great beer. Shout out to Celebrity Mint. Go check out celebritymint.com and see their graded legal tender collectibles of Mike Tyson, Ric Flair, and more. And shout out to Prize Picks, Apollo Media's daily fantasy app where you can put some money down on some more or less on all kinds of sports stats. They even have esports on there. It's crazy if you're into esports and you watch that on Twitch or wherever they stream esports. I don't really watch it, so I don't understand it. But they have all of the things, all of the stats that you can put money on. Daily fantasy app with Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up for up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Shout out to them. Shout out to all the other sponsors. This has been Play Action Takes, presented by Apollo Media.